back, everybody. Today we're going over this rifle right here. So this is the Delton SXT, and a lot of folks ask me for budget rifle reviews. So that's why we're bringing you this one today. So it definitely has some features that I like. It has some features actually that higher end rifles don't have, which is nice, and we'll get into all that here in a little bit. But it's got one thing that annoys me a good bit, and we'll touch on that as well. It's a very good looking rifle overall. It comes in unloaded without the optics or anything like that, right at 6.1 pounds. So it is a lightweight little gun, which in part is due to the barrel, which we'll touch on here in just a second. And I suppose without any further yapping, let's get the accuracy test out of the way and then come back and we'll kind of go tip to butt with it. Time to see what kind of groups we can get with it. In the gun right now, we have some Pine Valley munitions, 62 grain. It's a non-855 bullet, just for what it's worth. Then we have the primary arms 1:8 scope on there. It's the Platinum series, and it has the Griffin MOA reticle. So plenty of magnification for a target and range at 100 yards. And we have a CTK precision rest. That's pretty much it. Let's see what it'll do. All right, so that's that group. Up next, we have some lighter stuff. It's an all copper bullet. Has the 55 grain Barnes TSX in there, but it's from Federal. Nasty little load. For those of you guys that like all copper bullets, it's a good one. It's good for a lot of things. We'll see how it likes it. This barrel anyway, in terms of accuracy though. Interesting. It's definitely hitting higher than that Pine Valley munition stuff. Up next, we have the 223 grain Winchester Match King hollow point boat tail round in there. 69 grain. I think I said that. I don't know if I didn't, but it'll be the heaviest one we're shooting today. We'll see how this does. Interesting on that last group, those were all good trigger pulls, so let's go check them out. So the first group we had, again, Pine Valley Munitions, 62 grainer. There should be a coupon code on your screen here if you guys are looking to pick some up, but it shot pretty well. We're right at 1.5 inches center to center on that group. Then we went with the 55 grainers from TSX. And we're right at 2 1/8 on that one, center to center. Important thing for those of you who are new, I'd imagine a lot of people watching this video are kind of new to firearms. Basically, my hold was the same point, so point of aim was the same across all these different loads. I was aiming at the bottom corner here on the red square, here, and then there. So you can see that there's a dramatic point of impact shift. So just, make sure you know that if you're out there using your rifle for serious use, hunting, self-defense, whatever the case may be, make sure it's zeroed for that load because it did seem to move. So then we had the Winchester 69 grain. And we're right at 1.5 inches on that one as well. The accuracy in a lot of ways speaks for itself. Now, are there loads out there that it might shoot MOA groups with? Yeah, certainly it's possible. But even with that, those are respectable groups in my opinion, and most folks really can't shoot MOA anyway, particularly folks that are looking at budget rifles. But if you can, hey, work up some loads and see if you can get it to shoot a little better. Now, starting out here at the end and kind of working our way back, we do have an A2 Birdcage flash hider on there, which I really like. People who watch the channel a lot know that I am a big A2 fan. They work really well. They are decent flash hiders. They're decent compensators because we don't have the ports there at the bottom, kicking up dust and stuff like that when you're firing from the prone. And I'm just a fan of them, especially at the price point that they come in at now. Continuing on back, we do have a Samson 15-inch free float rail. Now, the rail has some cool features. Two of them are going to be the way that it secures back here at the rear. So you can see here, we have a bolt going through the top of the rail and then one going in here at the bottom. Both of those lock into the barrel nut to prevent any type of twisting. We also have a little cutout here for where our dust cover retention pin goes through, and then we have tabs on the left and right side where it indexes with the upper receiver. So that reel ain't going anywhere. Definitely works for me. It has the M-lock slots at the 3, 6, and 9 o'clock position. The offsets are just cut out there to save some weight, but it does not have offset M-lock points. Like I said, it's a lightweight rifle, so in that regard I certainly do like it. It does not come with backup iron sights for those of you guys that that's a concern for. And the barrel, we have a light contour, which is nice. Barrel mid-length, 1 in 7 twist. It's 4150 steel. It has phosphated finish, a phosphated finish underneath the gas block, and the gas block itself is Delton's proprietary gas block, which is kind of weird. So I pulled the rifle apart when I first got it, and it has 2 set screws there on the sides pushing it in, and then it has 2 traditional set screws, and both of those are dimpled and Loctited, so good on them for that. I cannot be mad about it. And then as we come out past the gas block, it goes down to right about a pencil profile barrel. So the barrel profile is excellent. I am a fan of it for sure. It handles well, points well, all of those sorts of things. Now, the thing that I don't like about it is it's not nitrided and it's not chrome lined. So I know it costs extra money to do it. However, from folks I've talked to who make barrels for a living, they say it costs anywhere from $3 to $5 to get a barrel nitrided. Chrome lining's a little bit more than that. It's going to add to the cost, but it's one of those things. It's like, why wouldn't you do that? Now, is a phosphate barrel inherently bad? No, but a nitrided one or a chrome lined one is going to last way longer. Additionally, in really harsh conditions, or if you just don't clean your gun or you're shooting like dirty ammo, that chamber being either chrome lined or nitrided is going to aid in extraction as well. Now, I should just go out there and say I've not had a single failure with this rifle so far. So, again, is it a big deal? Maybe. I think it would be huge if they actually just did it. It would definitely be a big pro, especially at the price point of this rifle. But it is what it is. We will leave it there. Continuing on back, the upper and lower receiver. Our upper and lower are both 7075 T6 forged aluminum, which I do like. Our magazine well there does have a nice flare to it. Again, I dig that. And then we have a polymer trigger guard, enlarged trigger guard rather. That looks very similar to the Magpul, but it is not Magpul. I believe it's actually Delton's own. So we'll pull these out here and get into the upper components here. We do have M4 feed ramps in there, which is nice. And it is dry film lubricated. Again, there's a lot of things going for this rifle, but it is dry film lubricated rather. We have the standard mil-spec charging handle. And you guys can see forge mark on there, forward assist, which I like. I know a lot of folks hate it, but tapping it makes me happy. And we have our shell deflector as well, so you lefties out there won't get smacked in the face with brass when you're shooting it. And then our bolt carrier group, right? So our carrier is 8620. Unfortunately, it comes with a semi-auto carrier. Again, for most people, does that matter? No, but in my opinion, it's nice to have the full auto one, both for the weight, and then additionally, should we ever get our freedoms back, just to be able to run it in full automatic. Now, the carrier is chrome lined, both in the carrier itself and the gas key. We have decent staking there on the gas key screws, which I like. However, they are YFS screws, and for folks that don't know, YFS screws are not mil-spec, so is it a big deal? Probably not. Your gas key screws will probably never give you an issue, but just pointing it out there. Our bolt, though, 158 Carpenter steel. It is HP and MP tested. So for new folks, what that means is they shoot a HP round, a high pressure round, through the barrel with the bolt there. And that's going to obviously put more pressure on it than a regular round would. And then after that, they go through with a magnetic particle inspector, which is essentially a machine that is able to look for microfractures in the metal to see if anything happened after that proof round was fired, things that you can't detect with your human eye. So that is great. That at this price point, you are getting that in your bolt. And bolt, AR-15 bolt, for folks that are new, really, along with the barrel, are the heart and soul of your rifle. So bolt carrier group, if we had a full auto one, we'd give you a pretty good grade. As it is, like A-, I guess. Continuing on to the lower, we have a H buffer in there. Mil-spec trigger, nothing fancy at all. The controls are standard AR, so there's no ambi or anything like that, but they work and they function just fine. We have the A2 grip, and then our receiver extension is 7075 T6 aluminum, mil-spec. Again, in that regard, not mad about it at all. We don't have any fancy end plate, and we have a standard M4 style stock. It is mil-spec in terms of dimension, so if you want to add any of your aftermarket mil-spec stocks, you certainly can do so. It is a low shelf receiver for folks that are wondering. So there is that. Now you guys probably see these here and you guys have seen them on my head, so I wanted to just answer the question that I've been getting all over social media since I've been posting pictures of myself wearing them before we close the video out. But these are the Walker razors. I think they're limited edition for their website only, so it's electronic hearing protection for folks that don't know. I think it's 21 or 23. I will annotate it, decibel reduction. And these ones are like their signature series in terms of pattern. So we have the Constitution, or excuse me, that's the Declaration of Independence on there. A Don't Tread on Me version, and then a Come and Take It version. They have a bunch of state versions as well over on their site. But anybody who's watched the channel for any amount of time knows I wear Walker's razors all the time. And they sent those ones out so we can wear them throughout the review and going on into the future. So with that, what do I think of the rifle? Again, we've had zero malfunctions at all. Put 800 rounds through it at this point, so not a ton. But honestly, I think most people who are buying sort of like a budget-oriented rifle aren't going to put a ton of rounds through it. They're probably going to shoot a couple mags a year and then, you know, put it by the bedside or whatever the case may be, should they need to use it. I should also note it comes with a 30-round magazine as well. But they're going to, you know, leave it not be high-volume shooters. Now, you could probably put a good bit of rounds through this barrel before you would see degradation, at least 5,000, depending on your firing cycle. But again, I just wish they did that. I wish they would nitride it or chrome line it, but it is what it is. And I also wish we had a full auto carrier, but it functions fine. So there is that. It's reasonably accurate, as you guys saw. And again, zero malfunctions. Price point that this one comes in at is right at $750 MSRP. However, we all know that MSRP isn't street price, so I'm sure you can get it for less than that out there on the street. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's got some pros, got some cons, but ultimately it works, which is definitely the most important thing on it. If you guys have any questions at all about the rifle, anything we discussed here in the video, you can always post those down below in the comment section. You can also post over at my Facebook page if you have a question that you need to have answered, because that is where I see most of the questions that I respond to, because unfortunately on YouTube I don't see the majority of your comments anymore the way they display it to us creators. So if you guys like this format, sort of the truck tailbed review, let me know. If not, I'll go back out on my dock or on the green screen and do it that way traditionally, but I wanted to try something new. I think that's it, guys. If you aren't subscribed, rather, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you like this type of video. And if you guys are subscribed and you're not seeing 3 to 4 videos a week, make sure you hit the notification bell so that way you get notified when I put up a video, because YouTube likes to not do that anymore for some reason. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys. Truly appreciate it. I look forward to seeing everybody in the next video.